Hi everyone, I hope you're doing okay today. Today's assignment is titled Measurements. It could have a different date, it might be from a different period, but it's going to look similar to this. You're going to watch the video. This link will be there in your assignment in Google Classroom. That's for this actual video you're watching already, so you've probably already seen that. And you're going to watch that video, this video. Use Clever to go to MyPLTW. I'll show you how to do that, and complete Table A and the first half of Table B in Activity 1.1 Measuring Practice. You're going to use screen capture techniques, which they're right down here for Chromebooks, for Macs and PCs, to paste the completed tables into the attached Google slideshow. So up here, you should have a Google slideshow. You'll be able to open that into a new tab, and you're going to paste that in. I'll show you how to do that later into this blank slideshow. Okay, and then once you're all done that, we will, we will turn that in right here by turning it in. So make sure you put stuff into that slideshow before you turn it in. Turn in this assignment. All right, so let's get started. So what I'm going to do is, this is my demo account for students, but I'm going to go into this PowerPoint. So the first thing we did, last thing we did was we talked about measuring with a ruler, and you practiced that on the computer. So today I want to talk a little bit more about that. All right, so first off, we need to know how many inches are in a foot. So think to yourself that right now, pause the video, and then come back. All right, hopefully you said 12 inches. How many feet in a yard? Pause the video, think about it. Hopefully you thought 3 feet. How many quarter inches in an inch? You can kind of look down here if you want. Again, pause the video. Good. Hopefully you picked 4. 1, 2. This is 2/4, and 3/4, and 4/4, all the way to 1. 4/4 is 1. All right. How many eighths in an inch? Again, you can use this over here. Pause the video. All right. Hope you got 8. Now they're trying to say, do you see the pattern? Basically, if we cut a whole thing into 8 pieces or 4 pieces or however many pieces, we need all of those pieces in order to make the 1 again. So how many 1/16 of an inch are in an inch? Well, there'd be 16 of them. And how many 32nds of an inch are in an inch? And of course, there would be 32 of them to make 32 over 32, which is 1. Okay. Locate the ruler mark. So here we go. Where is 1 3/4 inches? Find it. Pause the video. All right, hope you said there. Where is 3.5 inches? Find it. Pause the video, and then find it. All right, hopefully you said that. 4.5 inches. Pause the video. Find it. All right, good. 4 1/4. 5.5 inches. Pause video. Find it, and then start it again. All right, there it was 5.5 inches. And then where is 0? There it is, right at the beginning. Now this ruler has it right at the edge. A lot of times there might be a line with a 0 on it. That would be your 0. All right, so now read this line. How long is that line? How long is that line? Approximately right about here. So what do you think that is? Yep. All right, pause the video and do 1/5. This one right here. Okay. Pause the video. Do that line in your head. Okay. And pause the video. Do that line in your head. All right, now not every ruler is going to have all these marks labeled. So that's what's going to help you right here. But pay attention to the shorter marks are eighths. So that's 1/8, 3/8, 5/8, 7/8. A little bit longer marks are 1/4 and 3/4. And the longest mark right in the middle, of course, is the half mark. So what's this one going to be? Pause the video. Make sure you know what it is. Okay. And this one, pause the video. Make sure you know what it is. Then come back. Yep. And let's go to this. All right, so read these lines. What is A? Right here. Now they're not labeled. See that? Now remember, this was a half, the longest line. The next longer lines are your quarters. The next longer lines are your eighths. I'm sorry, I should be saying shorter lines are your sixteenths. here. So what is this one? Yep, 1/4 inch. What is B right here? Not the shortest line, so it's not going to be a 16th, but it's going to be an 1/8. What 1/8 is that? Okay, hopefully you got that. 7/8. Now they did also notice that that is 14/16. So if you counted all the little spaces here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, but that can be reduced down to 7/8. All right, sorry I didn't give you much time to do that one. Hopefully you already moved on and thought about that. Does that make sense? Yeah, 5/8 again. Not the shortest line, which is 16ths. And you could count these up to get 10. You should know that the halfway is 4/8 or 8/16. And so that's 9/16 and 10/16. All right, go ahead and look at D. Pause the video. All right, hopefully that's what you got, 2 and 3/16. Remember the short ones are 16ths. And now do this E. All right, hopefully you got that. Very similar to this one here, where it's one of this size marks away from the next whole number. And so you can see that right there again, 7/8, 7/8. All right. We're going to be talking about architectural units today. So architectural units, when they draw on a drawing, they don't put it out there and spell everything out like this right here, 16 feet 2 inches. They write it with these single quotes and double quotes. So that's what this is. This is architectural notation, and this is it written out. All right, so sometimes we need to know a measurement in only inches or only feet, not feet and inches. So we have to convert one of the other. So if we want to know it in this example, we want to know, all right, well, anyway, we're going to be using, we'll get into that in a minute. We're going to be using ratios, and these ratios can be written in either way. So you can move them around. They're not like fractions where you can't move them around. You can have 1 yard is over 3 feet, or 3 feet is over 1 yard, depending on how you want your units to work out. We kind of did this in the hourly Nearpod lesson. All right, so let's see how we get started. If we want to go feet to inches, we need to know that there are 12 inches in every foot. We already talked about that once today. You're going to need to remember that. So the ratio is 12 inches to 1 foot, or 12 to 1. Of course, it could be the other way around too, 1 foot to 12 inches as well. It depends on how you want to write it, which one goes on top, which one goes on the bottom. If you're given units is feet, then you're going to put the feet on the bottom. If you're just if your given unit is inches, that would go on the bottom, and then the other unit would go on top, the unit you want to get into. All right, so here we got. Here's another conversion factor. 1 mile is equal to 5,280 feet. Everybody knows that, right? So 5,280 feet over 1 mile, or 1 mile over 5,280 feet. And you can write it this way as well. So ratios can be written many different ways, unlike fractions. So they might look like fractions when they're written like this, but they're not fractions. Fractions are part to whole, and in this case, this ratio is part to part. All right, so unit conversion factors can cancel unwanted units, and it's similar to canceling factors when multiplying fractions. So let's say, look at this. So 7 and 7 kind of cancel out. And so we don't have to really do the math. We just know this is going to end up being 5 over 3. We could do the math, and we just have to reduce it. So 5 over 3, there it is. If you did do the math, you'd have 35 over 21, and you'd have to reduce that down, basically dividing by 7, and you'd end up with 5 over 3 anyway. All right, so here we are, 17.2 yards into feet. So remember, 3 feet in every yard. So we got to know that. So what do we want? We want feet. So what's going to go on the bottom here? All right, yards. Okay, yards are going to the bottom, and 3 feet, the desired units on top, the given units on bottom. And then we can do the math, count out the yards, units go away just like they would if they were numbers, because yard over yard is basically 1, and anything times 1 is going to be the same thing. So we really need to pay attention to that at all. But now we got to do the math. 17.2 times 3 and 1 times 1 gives us this. Okay? So we know that 17.2 yards is the same thing as 51.6 feet. Anything over 1 doesn't really need to be written. We can get rid of that 1. There you go. All right. Now, 4 feet to inches. How many inches in a foot? Told you need to know this. All right, what's going to go on the bottom here? That's right, your given unit. So feet is your given unit. So 1 foot's going to go here, and 12 inches is going to go here. Let's see. There it is. All right, we cross out the feet. They cancel each other out because 1's on top, 1's on bottom. Then we do the math, 4 times 12, and 1 times 1. The inches don't go away. They're still there. There they are. 48, that's equal to 48 inches because 12 times 4 is 48, and 1 times 1 is 1. And the inches are still there. They're not gone. And so we can write that like that. We don't really need to write it over 1. All right, now here we got 2 feet 5 inches, and we need to convert this into inches. So we already know 5 inches. All we really need to do is convert the 2. And you guys are probably already doing this in your head. 12 inches in a foot, you know that's going to be 24, and then 24 plus 5 is 29. Let's see it in math form. So here we go. We've got 22 foot plus 5 inches. The inches is good. So the first thing we're going to do is pull out that 2 feet. Then we're going to, again, put our desired units on top and our given units on bottom for our conversion factor. This is our conversion ratio. And so 1 goes on the bottom, 12 on top. Then we can multiply this together, canceling out the feet, and we end up with 24 inches over 1, because 1 times 1. And we don't need to write that 1 anymore, but 24 plus 5 is going to give us 29 inches. And maybe you did that in your head, and that's wonderful. If not, that's okay. You can do it this way just to make sure you're doing it right. All right, so your turn. Here we go. We got 1 foot equals how many inches? I told you need to know this. Hopefully you had that in your head. All right, 1 foot equals 1 foot 8 inches is equal to how many inches? So all we need to do is convert this foot into inches and then add the 8 inches to it. So there it is. We know that 1 foot right up here is 12 inches, so we write that here, plus 8 is equal to total 20 inches. All right, here's another option. 3 feet, 6 inches, we need it in inches. Of course, we know the 6 inches already. How many inches is 3 feet? Use the 12. You can write it out if you wanted to. 1 piece of paper. Pause the video if you haven't already. All right, let's get started. So here we go. We got our 3 feet. Remember, given units go on the bottom. So with a conversion factor, the given units go on the bottom, the desired units go on top. And so we have 3 feet over 1 foot, but 12 inches on top. So then we do the multiplication, and 3 times 12 is going to get us 36, plus 6 is going to get us 42. So you kind of condensed it down in 1 step. All right, so now again, 15 feet, 11 inches. We know what the 11 inches are. We're going to put that out here, right? Put maybe that right about there. But now we got to convert to 15, just like we did here. 15 feet and 12 inches over 1 foot. There it is. All right, and that's 191 inches. Because 15 times 12 plus 11. Do what's in the parentheses first. All right, let's move on. Last one. 21 feet, how many yards? Okay, it's a little bit different because we're not using the 12 inches equals 1 foot, or equals the 3 feet is in 1 yard. Okay, pause video, write down a piece of paper for yourself. All right, hopefully that's what you had. If you didn't, think about it. You have 21 feet. You put your given unit on the bottom and your desired unit on top. So the conversion is still the same, 3 and 1. So that's how we have to write it. That's equals 7 yards. All right. So we've got several different conversions. You can do this, for grid paper. That can be helpful. 4 blocks is equals 1 inch. Desired units, given units, all that good stuff. So how many blocks is 3 inches going to be? There you go. 12 blocks. Okay. If 4 blocks is equal 1 inch in length, and you have 6 inches, how many blocks is that going to be? Again, 6 inches here over your desired unit is on top, 4 blocks, and your given unit is 1 inch, and so 6 times 4 is going to be 24. Again, pause the video, do this on paper. Now you got a 1/2 inch here too, so keep that in mind. How many blocks is a 1/2 inch? You could do it 2.5. Let's see what they did. All right, there it is. They did 2.5, and then the 4 blocks over 1, it's 10 blocks. 3 3/4. So again, basically do the same thing here. Go ahead and do that on a piece of paper and then come back to my video. All right, welcome back. Hopefully that's what you had. All right, so that's how we can do that. All right, so if we're going to convert architectural units, we got 7 feet, 4 inches to decimal feet. We're going to do this later. Decimal feet. So this is already in feet. 7 is already in feet. We just need to turn the 4 into decimal feet, into feet basically. And 4 inches is not 1 foot, so it's not going to be a whole number. It's going to be a decimal. All right, so this is how we do it. The 7 feet, like I said, is already in feet. That's what we want it to be in. But then we got to add it to the 4 inches. We know that there are 12 inches in every foot. The given unit goes on bottom. So basically taking 4 divided by 12, and the inches are going to cancel out and left with feet. Let's see what we get here. Okay. Hopefully that makes sense. So basically it's 7 feet here. You should have gotten in a calculator. If you put 4 divided by 12, you get 0.333333 as far as the calculator will let you go. And so that's your answer right there. All right, so your turn. Let's see if you can do this on a piece of paper or, yeah, do it on a piece of paper real quick. Come back to the video. Hopefully you're back. All right, so you should have done something like this. The 23 is already in feet, so we don't need to do anything with it. You just need to take this 6 inches. And maybe you thought to yourself, oh, 6 inches is 1/2 foot, so that's 23.5 feet. Let's see, 6 divided by 12 is also going to get us 0.5. And so that's what we get, 23.5. 6 divided by 12, 6 is 1/2 of 12. All right, convert this one. Pause the video, do it on a piece of paper, come back to me. All right, again, the 16 feet is already in feet. That's what we want. And then we have to take the 9 inches divided by 12 and get 0.75. So it's 16.75 feet. All right, so we're going to use this next class. But, you know, look at the different dimensions, write them down in our Project Lead the Way. So that's enough for this part of the video. And get out of the PowerPoint. And now I want to go to Project Lead the Way. So the best way to do that for you guys would be go to Smyrna Middle School's website. I think this might be the best way. We're going to go to Clever. And then you're going to try to find this icon. Yours might not be at the top, My PLTW. It might be all the way down here. And then if you put the little heart in it, so right now, if the heart's not there, mine disappeared at the top. But if you put the heart in there, I'll make it red. Now it appears up here as one of your favorites. So this is where we're going. I put the My PLTW. And you should log in all by yourself. I've already invited you into this. And you should go right into here. All right, so this is what it should look like a little bit differently. Yours should say welcome back and your first name. We're going to go to courses. So go ahead and pause the video and go to courses. All right, so if you clicked on courses, it should have looked like this, except that you won't have as many choices. So you should have this student green architecture one. So you're going to click on this one. You also have it in Spanish if you want to do that. That's what your primary language is. So you could use that today. All right. Pause the video and click on green architecture. All right, if you've come back after getting here, this is what it should look like. And we're going to scroll down here on this black side. Now, if this black is not showing, uh-oh, I did the wrong thing. Go back here. If this black is not showing, you can click up here and make it show again. So you can see, you can close that black bar on the left and open it by clicking on those things right there. So have this open. You're going to scroll down until you see lesson 1. So clicking on lesson 1 is going to make lesson 1 open all up over here in the black bar. We're going to the first one, and so just so happens that it opens up to activity 1, measuring practice. Now, if you remember from the Google Classroom assignment, we're going to complete table A, and which is all of that as well. So it's actually 2 tables, and the first half of table B. So here's how we do this. Just as it says right here, divide the inches and the fractional inches in table A by 12. That's all. And then you're going to round to the thousandths place, which is 3 places. So I'm just going to highlight that so you guys know that that's what you're doing. Oh, that didn't highlight everything. Why did I do that? Huh. Anyway, it's a little off. Hopefully yours worked best. All right, better. So that's what we're going to basically do. We're taking 7 feet 1 inches, and so later on we can do that. But we're going to do what the 1 inch is right now. So if we take 1 inch, get a calculator. So I'm going to come over here and grab my calculator, and take 1 divided by 12, and you get 0.083. And I need to go out. Okay, 3 decimal places. You're going to do that for 2. 2 divided by 12. And write that down. And that's going to round up to 7. Okay, the 6 repeating, the next number is going to make that round up. All right, so that's what you're going to do for all of these. It's going to get a little bit trickier when you get to here, but really not. You're still going to just go in and put 0.5 in here, 0.5 divided by 12 equals, and just write that in, 0.0417, I think it was. Yeah, because the 6, I don't need to go any farther, so that's actually going to be 2. Because it was 1666666 repeating, and I need to only go to the 1, so the 6 makes the 1 a 2, and then I get rid of the 6. Do the same thing for this one. Type in 0.75 divided by 12, and you should get a thing here that you're rounding. So you should be able to round all these and figure out all these. You're going to take a screen capture of that, and you're going to put it into our document. So you might have to change your zoom. I would try to get your screen to kind of show everything that's in this table, and then go to screen capture. So for me, I like using the snipping tool. You can also use print screen on this one, but I'm going to show you the snipping tool. Bring the snipping tool out. It already makes me do it as soon as I open it up. It has a new. I'm just going to grab this and put it right there, and then I'm going to copy this. And I'm going to go to, remember my demo, open up that. Oh, it was already open. And I'm just going to paste that in here. Okay, that's it. Then we're going to go back and do the next part of the assignment in my PLTW. So that's this one. So this one, we're going to take the 4 feet 6 inches and convert it to decimal feet like we did in those slideshow a few minutes ago. So we already know it's going to be 4 point something. All we need to do now is take the 6 inches. Well, guess what? We did that right up here. So whatever you have here, you're just going to add on to the end here. And 6 inches is 0.5. So that should be that. So again, this one's going to be 8. And then you're going to come up here, look at the 9, and put that right there at the end after the decimal point. So finish that up. Go ahead and screen capture that. Actually, we could do probably screen capture both of these at the same time. So then you're going to work on this one. This is your estimate, and write it in architectural units, 3 feet so many inches. Estimate. So just go look at a door. How wide do you think it is? And write it down. Then use a ruler or tape measure or something like that, and go actually and measure it and write it down. How many feet and how many inches. And then finally, what we did up here, you're going to take that measurement and convert it into decimal feet. Once you've done all those, height of the door, height of the window, width of the door, length of the wall, once you do those, you're done. You do not need to do these down here. Okay? So once we've done that, we can go back to our snipping tool, or however you are going to capture your work. Capture it like this. Copy it. Go to our slideshow, and we can paste it in there, and there we go. And then you're going to go back to your Google Classroom and turn it in. And that's it for this assignment.